One of the main reasons that Pierce continues to be North America's leading manufacturer of fire apparatus is its state-of-the-art manufacturing facilities. As an ISO 9001 certified one-source OEM, Pierce manufactures and assembles each and every component of our custom fire apparatus on-site at our facilities. In 2006, Pierce opened an additional 133,000 square feet of expansion to better serve our customers and provide the finest fire and rescue apparatus, to bring the total area of its main manufacturing facilities to nearly 1 million square feet. The quality and innovation that Pierce is known for is made possible by the passionate people who come to work each day in the safe, clean, brightly lit, and highly efficient facilities that are at the heart of Pierce manufacturing. Follow along as we tour Pierce's manufacturing sites in Appleton, Wisconsin. At Pierce Manufacturing, the process of building fire and emergency apparatus begins with a customized, specified design stock sheet metal that is cut and shaped for use in the welding and assembly areas. State-of-the-art computer-controlled laser cutting machines, punching machines, press brakes, and machining centers ensure consistency and quality. These machines represent a considerable investment by Pierce to stay at the forefront of manufacturing capability. In this area, we fabricate the 5 different custom cabs that mount on Pierce custom chassis. The cabs are specifically designed and welded for each customer's apparatus. All of the cab welders are certified through the Pierce Welding Certification Program. This is where many of the welded sub-assemblies are fabricated, such as body doors, rear substructures, and TAC-4 independent suspension assemblies. The TAC-4 assemblies are robotically welded to ensure precision and consistency. Located nearby is Pierce's new state-of-the-art automated paint line. The system ensures that metal parts are thoroughly cleaned and have the proper substrates applied to provide the best possible paint adhesion. The line moves parts through a dry-off oven to heat the metal before the primer and top coats are applied. The parts then run back through the oven and a cool-down cycle before being removed from the moving line. In the body weld area, the left and right body sides are welded separately. Then they're rolled across the aisle and welded into the finished bodies. All electrical boxes are installed and wire pass holes cut before the body goes to paint. The pump house assembly area is laid out in a continuous flow to improve efficiency and quality. Pump houses are assembled here and then sent off to be painted. When the pump house returns, the tubing is added, pressure tested, trimmed, and ready for installation on the main assembly line. All of the ladder sections and other components for Pierce aerial products are welded at Pierce's sister company, Kewanee Fabrications, in nearby Kewanee, Wisconsin. The individual sections are then third-party tested and certified by Underwriters Laboratories before they're shipped to the Pierce facility to be assembled. Meanwhile, the fabricated modules are prepped and painted in the South Paint facility. Parts go through a rigorous process as they're washed and chemically etched before being primed, sanded, and finished painted. All components are then carefully inspected before moving on to the assembly area. In this area, TAC-4 independent front suspension components are assembled, with wheel ends and brake assemblies. Other major components, such as front bumper assemblies and radiators, are put together in this area and are sent to other lines as needed. Nearby, a Pierce custom chassis begins to take shape when pre-drilled frame rails are squared together with their cross members. Axles and suspensions are installed, and the frame is washed, painted, and cured in a controlled oven. A new set of wheels are put on, and it's off to the chassis assembly line. Meanwhile, in another corner of the plant, the engine and transmission are being assembled together. They too will travel a short distance to the chassis line and arrive just in time to be mounted on the proper chassis. The instrument panel assembly area feeds the nearby cab assembly line. Now here the cabs begin as a painted shell and are fitted with doors and steps, insulation, air conditioning, electrical harnesses, instrument panels, and many other cab options. The chassis assembly line takes the bare frames that come from the frame-up area and assembles them into drivable chassis. As the frame moves through these 15 stations, electrical and air harnesses are installed The engine and radiator are mounted, and the cab and pump house modules are installed. The cab line is synchronized with the chassis line, so the cab is completed exactly when it is to be consumed. A special lift fixture is in place to install the cab onto the chassis. Then the chassis are filled with fluids and started for the first time. Finally, the proper programs are loaded, and the axle, steering, and suspension parameters are set, along with many other final adjustments. If the chassis is scheduled for an aerial apparatus, it goes to the torque box mounting area. Once the torque box and outriggers are installed and tested, the apparatus is then returned to the assembly lines to be completed. Adjacent to the component assembly area is the 5-station body module assembly line. The bodies come pre-painted to this area, where roll-up doors, lights, breaker boxes, and many other customized and optional electrical and mechanical components are installed. The finish assembly area consists of 5 lines with 25 stations. This is where the bodies and water tanks are mounted to the chassis. Major options are installed, such as generators, ladder racks, hydraulic tool systems, and pump panels. As the process continues, other components, such as light bars and cab interiors, are installed. The final stations are used to test the installations before the unit goes to the test facility. A similar process is done specifically for Pierce heavy-duty rescue units. The custom chassis is built, bodies are mounted and finished, and options are added in the new heavy-duty rescue assembly area. Some options that are specific to rescue apparatus include hydraulic rescue tools, night scan lights, breathing air systems, satellites, and long-range cameras. There's also a command interior finishing center that creates custom cabinetry, countertops, and shelving for custom command center interiors. In the aerial assembly area, aerial devices are completely assembled and pinned to the apparatus. The unit then goes outside for programming and testing. Once all testing is concluded, the aerial goes through a rigorous final product evaluation. All Pierce vehicles visit the on-site test facility where they undergo Underwriters Laboratories and NFPA third-party certification tests. All vehicles are also road tested and dynamometer tested. The brakes are checked with an automated ABS brake machine, and the apparatus is aligned with a new automated laser alignment machine. All of this happens on-site at the Pierce facility, reducing the need for off-site and outside contractors. Also located on-site is an automatic truck wash and dryer system that provides for a high-quality brushless wash and is easier on the paint face than a manual wash. Once testing is complete, final checks are made before the apparatus is presented to the customer. Any changes the customer requested are completed at this time. The truck is then finished, cleaned, and detailed inside and out before it's presented to the customer. And here is the customer acceptance area, also known as the blue floor, where the finished truck is finally presented to the customer for final inspection and delivery. Pierce has made a strong commitment to produce the finest fire and rescue apparatus in the industry as a true one-source OEM. All components are built and assembled in our manufacturing and production sites. With our state-of-the-art facilities, our equipment, and processes, the dedicated people of Pierce perform safer, perform smarter, and perform better than ever. Pierce, perform like no other.